So another piece of most identity management solutions is what's called a legacy single sign-on. And we're actually going to go into some single sign-on technologies in this domain. But right now, what we need to know is that single sign-on just means that I can log in with one credential set, and then I can access the necessary resources. Now, again, there's a difference between password synchronization and single sign-on. Password synchronization means that each different application and device has my one password. So if I need to go into a server, it's the exact same password as if I need to go into an application. Single sign-on means that I authenticate to the single sign-on technology, and then when I access a file server, when it comes back and it says what's the credentials, the single sign-on will provide the credentials. I don't have to. The single sign-on will do it for me. So the single sign-on is kind of, whatever authentication requests come that are supposed to come to me, it intercepts them and answers for them. So, do we have any issues, any security issues with single sign-on? Well, of course, that if I only have to remember one credential set, then there's only one credential set that the attacker needs to figure out to be able to access all the resources. So then that's called keys to the kingdom. So that's a vulnerability to single sign-on and password synchronization. They only have to have your one password or whatever your credential is to be able to access the resources. So, some people would say, well, why in the world would you do that then if it has that type of vulnerability? It's always that, business needs and functionality versus security, because a lot of environments, people will have, 4, 6, 8, 10 passwords to remember to get into the necessary resources, and they're going to write them down. Actually, writing them down provides less security. And with single sign-on and with password synchronization, the goal is that you can actually enforce a more complex and secure password policy, since the user only has to remember one. So hopefully you can enforce them to use one password that's actually strong instead of having to write down like 6 passwords.